Hi, I'm Jeff, and welcome to another one of my videos where we take a look at all the new comic books coming out on either December 26th or 27th, 2023, and I ask myself the question, what one new comic book would I buy this week if I could buy just one book? Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever you're celebrating during this holiday season, I hope that you have a fantastic one. There's a little bit of an announcement that I want to make at the end of this video, so I'm letting you know about that now because I recommend you stick around for it. In the meantime, let's go ahead and launch into the content of this video. First, by taking a look back at my pick from 1992 or something like that. It was a long time ago. The book in question is Somna, issue number 1, and the question remains, was it a worthy and worthwhile book to be my just one book pick of the week? And the answer is yeah. For the most part, it was an enjoyable read. It was a cool story, interesting world, interesting characters, interesting circumstances. I was engaged. Now, going into it, it was my understanding that it was a romance book, and I had certain expectations in that regard. Turns out, it's more like erotica in a lot of ways, but erotica that is not like overtly like pornography or anything like that. It was a great story. It just happened to have a very strong sexual component to it. And that's okay. It's generally not my thing, but it was done tastefully, it was done effectively, and it was part of the story that was being told instead of just there for the sake of being there. So it was good. I liked it. I don't think I liked it enough that I'm going to continue with the series, but I did enjoy reading issue number 1, and I do think that it was a mostly worthwhile just one book pick. I also want to tell you about my pick from 2 weeks ago, which was, let me make sure I get the title correct, Guma, The Beginning of Her, issue number 1. And the question remains, was that a worthy and worthwhile just one book pick? And the answer is no. No, not really. This is Ji Hyung Lee's first attempt at writing, and it felt like a first attempt at writing. The story was a little uneven. It leaned on a lot of cliches as far as I'm concerned. It built an interesting and compelling world, but it didn't focus on what I found most interesting and compelling about it. It kind of just introduced it at the beginning, and it was a thick comic book. And then it goes into this story that just kind of like, I don't know, I felt like I was reading the same page over and over and over again. I also thought that if the writing wasn't fantastic, maybe the art would be a saving grace, but I didn't realize this until I actually opened the book. The interior art was not done by Ji Hyung Lee. It was quite good, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't at the caliber of art that I was hoping for from a fantastic, phenomenal artist like Ji Hyung Lee. So that was a little bit of a letdown, although once again, I want to reiterate, the art was very good, just not exactly what I expected. So the story definitely wasn't there for me. The art wasn't lifting it up, so to speak. So for those reasons, I decide, for me, it was not a worthy and worthwhile just one book pick for the week, 2 weeks ago. But while we're at it, let's clean this up a little bit. I actually read my pick from last week, so let's talk about that quickly as well. My pick from last week was Animal Pound, issue number 1, and the question remains, was that a worthy and worthwhile just one book pick? And the answer is yeah. Yeah, it was. It had a lot of text to it. I actually thought I was going to blow through it quickly, but I ended up, it took me longer to read this comic book than it does most comic books because there was a lot of text to get through. But the text was very interesting, very compelling. It was a cool first issue in that it kind of told a complete story, but there is more story to come. And while the first issue kind of ends on a high note for our characters, I know that things are going to go sideways for them, and there's going to be a lot of conflict coming up in the next few issues. If I remember correctly, I believe it's a limited series of 4 or something like that. So I actually think I'm going to stick with this one. Issue number 1 was interesting enough for me, and the commitment is low enough that I think I'm going to see this story through to the end. So yes, it was a worthy and worthwhile just one book pick as far as I'm concerned. But I also want to take this moment when I'm on the topic of Animal Pound to just reiterate something that's a personal belief of mine. And that personal belief is I would like to encourage all of you, if you're ever going to get a pet, rescue a pet from the pound. You can don't buy from a breeder. Breeders are in the business of making money off of animals, and they don't care about the animals at all. If you want a specific breed, there are rescues for specific breeds, or you can find them sometimes at the animal shelter, but you have to put in extra work, but it's worth it. Rescuing an animal, it's almost like they know that they've been rescued. It's a beautiful thing to do. There are too many animals in the pound that need to be rescued, and they need homes. So please, I strongly encourage you, go that route rather than buying from a breeder who is probably doing things less than ideally. All right, enough of my public service announcement. Let's go ahead now and move forward and take a look at the books that are coming out this upcoming week. Now, it's the end of the year, so it's a bit of a weird week. There were a couple books that I could have mentioned in this part of the video, but they weren't so great, so I left them out. And I decided to focus this week on something that's happening that's very interesting to me. And that is we have a lot of books coming out by my guy, James Tynion IV. So the entirety of today's video is going to be one special section of Tynion Time. Yes, it's the return of Tynion Time, where we talk about books written and published from James Tynion IV, my guy. There are 4 books that he has coming out this upcoming week. Let's go through them quickly. The first one I want to mention to you is an honorable mention, is Sandman Universe Nightmare Country, The Glass House, issue number 6 of a 6-issue limited series from DC Black Label. I've said it before, I'll say it again. This Sandman Universe series was something that I was not expecting to enjoy, but in the hands of my guy, James Tynion IV, he provided a story and characters that I want to see where it goes and what happens, and this was no exception. I've really been enjoying it. I'm interested to see how it ends, that we're already at the last issue of it. It seems like there's a lot more story that could be told, and maybe there will be in volumes past this one, but this volume is about to be done. I've really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to checking out issue number 6. The next honorable mention that I have for you is Universal Monsters Dracula, issue number 3 of a 4-issue limited series from Image. I have to admit, I'm way behind on my comic books, as was evidenced by how long it took me to read Somna. I have not read Dracula issue number 2 yet. Issue number 3 is coming out this week, but I really liked issue number 1. Once again, more than I expected to, and I have to give credit to James Tynion IV for just being good at writing and taking topics like Dracula, which I'm a bit meh about, and making it something that I look forward to and enjoy reading. So issue number 3 of Dracula comes out this week. I'm really looking forward to checking that out. The last honorable mention that I have to tell you about today is World Tree, issue number 6 from Image Comics. That's right, it's from Image, right? It doesn't say here on the thing that I'm looking at, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Image. I'm wearing my World Tree t-shirt in honor of this special occasion of doing a all Tynion Time video. World Tree issue number 1 through 5 were great. Creepy, weird, dark, twisted, engaging and compelling at the same time. And issue number 5 opened up the world in a way that I can't even fathom how big this story may become. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the beginning of this new arc, where James Tynion IV is going to be taking us with this story. It's great. I think it's going to be considered one of the best comics of 2023. If you haven't checked it out yet, you could go pick up the first 5 issues in trade. I'm sure you can also find them in single issues with their multiple printings and all of that. But I do recommend reading it, but of course you have to be prepared for a little bit of twisted, dark, uneasy feelings as you're going through and reading it, but it's really phenomenal and fantastic. And that brings us to the last book we're going to talk about today in this video, and it is my just one book pick for this week. And that book is Book of Butcher, issue number 1 from Boom Studios. It's a one-shot. Here's the description. Leading into the 5th anniversary of Something is Killing the Children and building on last year's Book of Slaughter, Maxine Slaughter steps into the spotlight in her journey from white to black mask. With New Orleans as her destination, what will Maxine uncover about House Boucher? And what will she learn about herself in the process? The award-winning, best-selling creative team of James Tynion IV and Werther Dell'Edera unleash their only first issue of 2023 together and set the stage for year 5 of the Slaughterverse. I cannot believe Something is Killing the Children has been coming out for the past 5 years. I think I got into it about 6 months after it first came out, so that means that it's been 4.5 years that I have been personally reading Something is Killing the Children. That blows my mind. It is my favorite comic book. I enjoy it very, very much. And so when you give me more of it, I get excited. And I've been enjoying House of Slaughter. That has been a entertaining complement to Something is Killing the Children. As mentioned in this description, Book of Slaughter that came out about a year ago was an interesting kind of, is it compendium? Is that the word? Kind of like something that supports and fills out some details from the main book. And I'm hoping, and it was very entertaining and very enjoyable in that capacity. So I'm looking forward to more of that from Book of Butcher. I expect it to be more of what I love about Something is Killing the Children. I expect it to help flush out and build up the world. We're focusing in this book on Maxine Slaughter, so we're focusing more on a different character of the Slaughterverse, as they call it. It just shows, to me, part of what is so great about Something is Killing the Children and all its related books is that there is a massive world of potential there, of just great stories, great characters, great storytelling. So I'm excited about getting more of that. I'm excited about flushing out more of the details, and I'm a big James Tynion IV fan, and Something is Killing the Children fan. So of course, it was only natural that a book like Book of Butcher would be my just one book pick for this week. Okay, that's it. Like I said in the beginning of the video, there's 1 or 2 other books that are kind of sort of interesting. There's like a Duke book that's coming out this week that's a G.I. Joe kind of book. But generally speaking, I wasn't very excited about those, so I didn't mention them. I just focused on my guy, James Tynion IV. So if you want to see what else is coming out, I recommend going to Previews World or lunardistribution.com and looking up what is offered there. I also mentioned at the beginning of this video that I had a bit of an announcement at the end of this video, and that announcement is I have decided that for the foreseeable future, I will not be doing any more of these videos. I really enjoy them, but I see my viewership numbers going down, which is the wrong way. And considering this does take up, takes about 2 hours out of my weekend, and my weekend is kind of precious to me, and sometimes it's hard for me to find the 2 hours to make and edit and upload and all the stuff, these videos. I've decided that it's time to let it go and to not do them anymore. I'm not saying that I will never do them again, but it is unlikely that I will. I want to take a quick moment to mention some of you all that have been watching my videos and have engaged in the past through the comments section. People like David Posner, 1146, R.A. Blurs, Eric, Tentai Say, And I appreciate you all so much and the support that you've given me. But most specifically, I want to shine the brightest light on probably my most loyal and dedicated fan, Sleek Geek Collectibles. Sleek Geek Collectibles comments on almost every single one of my videos, either by giving me just words of encouragement or some really solid and constructive feedback. It got to the point, Sleek Geek Collectibles, that I almost felt like I was making these videos exclusively for you. I can't tell you how much I have appreciated your engagement and your support throughout the years of me doing these videos. That goes for everybody who has hit that like button and has watched week after week, but I have to give a special shout out to Sleek Geek Collectibles. Okay, that's it. Thank you all so much. Hit the like button, if you are inclined. And if you haven't already subscribed, this is a weird time to subscribe. But if you do take this opportunity to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you're notified when and if I ever start doing these again. And if you're subscribed and haven't hit that notification bell, do that now as well if you want to be notified when and if I ever start to do these again. Thank you all so much for watching all of these videos. Maybe we'll see you again sometime.